So hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is Pack 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to learn what is behavior of an object. Because whenever we are trying to dealing with our class and object, every time we are just trying to create object. So for the object, we know that it is a real world entity which are states and behavior. So we are already completing with our state. State means the property, means the common property as well as the uncommon property. Then guys, what is this behavior of an object? Means the functionality of an object. Suppose if I try to take the example of parrot, means parrot have some functionality, means parrot can dance, parrot can singing also. Now we are trying to take a new example to understand all the concept related to our behavior of an object. Suppose guys, if I want to take a bank example, okay, so now we are thinking like that, bank having a object, or we can say that bank is a class, because everything in the real world entity, or we can say that in Python everything will be treated like a object only. Suppose if I want to create a class, okay, that is called bank. So one bank having n number of customer guys, right? So for this customer we are trying to get some common property or some uncommon property. For the common property means for every customer bank name same, for the rate of interest also same. Okay, these are the common property. And what about this uncommon property? Means for each and every customer having different phone number, then name, then Aadhaar, then PAN card, then balance. Okay, now what is this functionality? Means we can say that if one customer having some functionality using this bank. What is this functionality means? We can say that operation means we can do some operation like we can withdraw the money, we can deposit money, we can see the details of our else. So these are the different type of functionality of an object that will be related. So how to create this object, each and everything we are trying to see now. So guys, the first point we can say that what is behavior of an object means these are the operation performed by a object. Okay. Then the next method are used for to defining the behavior of an object. So guys, whenever we are trying to dealing with this functionality, every time we are just trying to create the method. So guys, what is method? Whenever you are creating a class, inside the class, if I try to create a function, this function will be treated like a method for that particular class. Okay. So as compared to our common property and uncommon property, just like that for the behavior of an object, we have three types. First type will be called our object method. Second one called our class method. Third one called our static method. So these are the different method that's available in case of our functionality of an object. So now first we are trying to write the theoretical point, then only we are trying to dealing with each and every methods that's available in Python. Okay, so first we are trying to write all the point that's available in case of our behavior of an object. Okay, so the first point will be said that these are the operation. Okay, means we are trying to performing some operation. Okay, so perform. Okay, perform by the object means if I try to take the person, or we can say that customer as the object, that particular customer can deposit some amount, can withdraw some amount, can see the details related to that particular customer. Okay, so then the second point, so to define this behavior we can use method. So method are used, so method are used for defining the behavior of an object, behavior of an object. Okay, then the next point, method is a function defined inside the class. What is this method? So method is a function defined inside the class. Okay, we can create like the simple way, means by the help of our def keyword only we are trying to dealing with that. Then now we are trying to classify it, because this classification will be going to happen in the three types. Okay, so classification of methods. Okay, classification of methods. So classification of method are done based on the value they are going to access by modify the property. Means guys, just see, whenever we are try to dealing with this functionality or behavior, means we are try to access some data, means we have common property as well as the uncommon property. So the classification of method are based on the value they are going to access and modify the property of an object, means common property or uncommon property. Means if my requirement will be I want to change the branch, means the branch will be same for 100 customer, 200 customer, so I can switch there. If I want to change the phone number also, I can switch. So based on that particular option, now we are trying to classify it. So here I can write, so it is, or we can say that the classification of method, so the classification of method are done based on the value they are going to access and modify. Okay, because if I'm trying to create a function to display the detail of a object, then we are trying to access. If I'm trying to withdraw some amount, means I need to modify in my existing data. If I have already in my bank account 2000 rupees, I want to withdraw 1000, means I can modify. Okay, modify the property, modify the properties. So there are three types of methods. So there are three types of methods are there. So each and everything we are trying to write. So first method we can say that object methods. Then the second one called our class method. Then third one called our static method. So each and everything we are trying to see in a in-depth knowledge. Okay. So first we are trying to start with our object method. So guys, what is this object method? How to create each and everything we are trying to see now. Okay. So guys, to understand this object method, first I will try to give a short, we can say that definition for this object method. So this object method says that these are used to access, defining and modify the specific property of an object. If my requirement will be, I want to change the name of a customer or phone number of a customer, at that time I need to use my object method. Means whenever you are trying to dealing with your specific property, at that time you need to use your object method. Okay, while we are trying to defining the method, we have tried to provide the class, means how to create a function, guys, by the help of this def keyword. But this function, or we can say that this method will be taking one mandatory argument, that is called self. Okay, what is the use of self, guys? It will also responsible for to taking the current object address. Okay, so now we are trying to dealing with the help of our example. Okay, so now first thing I need to create a bank, then I need to create some common property, then I need to create some uncommon property, then only I need to build our object method. So for this session, we are only dealing with our object method. Okay, so in the upcoming session, we are trying to dealing with our class method and starting method. So first I need to create a class. So how to create a class? By the help of our class keyword, then it will be followed by the class name. So here I'm providing class name called bank. So first I need to provide some common property. So here I'm passing bank name equal to SBI. Okay, because whenever you are trying to define your common property, at that time only you need to provide your value as compared to our common property. Then here the next one will be rate of interest. Here I can pass 0.002. Okay, 02. Okay, so these are the two common property that's available for same user, or we can say that same customer. Now I need to define for our uncommon property. To define our uncommon property, first thing I need to use my constructor called double underscore init. So here I need to take the object variable like name. Then here I need to take phone number. So here I'm writing phone. Then here I need to take Aadhaar. Then here I need to take PAN. Then PAN number. Okay. Then I need to take balance. Okay. So after creating, I need to store the data. So how to store the data? So self dot name equal to name. Okay. Means self will be storing the current object address for the particular object. It will be taking that for this variable name. It will be storing inside that. That's why for don't conflict between the name and the other value we are trying to store, I need to provide same name. So here we are saving that. Then here I need to save the phone number. So here I'm writing phone. Okay. Then the next one I need to save, that is called our Aadhaar. Okay, here also I'm storing Aadhaar. Then the next one called our PAN, or we can say that PAN number. Then the last one called our balance. So as of now, I'm just trying to create the common property, okay, and uncommon property. So now my requirement will be, I want to dealing with my object method. Okay, means object method means whenever I want to modify or accessing the specific details, or we can say that specific property, at that time I need to use my object method. So my requirement will be, I want to get the all this detail. So how to get that? By the help of this object method. So what is this method? Whenever we are trying to create a function inside this class, it will be treated like a methods only. So here I'm trying to create a method called details, but this function will be take one mandatory argument, that is called self. What is the use of this self, guys? It will be storing the current object address. So if I try to create 5 customer, so for each and every customer the details are different. That's why here I am passing self. After I need to display the all the detail, so here I can write directly that particular name of the customer, then account balance, each and everything I just want to display. Means whenever I want to call this function, every time all the details needs to print. So how to do that? Now we're trying to see now. So here I can write by the help of our f string. So here I'm writing the name of the customer. So name of the customer is, so here guys, we are trying to use the self dot name because we are using for the uncommon property. If you are directly providing this name, then for that particular object, it will be not getting. That's why here you need to provide self dot name for that particular customer. When you are trying to access this one, just like that, it needs to print. Okay. After printing the detail, I need to print all the details. So here I need to write the customer phone number. Okay. So the customer phone number is, here I need to write self dot phone. Okay. Then the next one I need to print. Okay. So f string the customer. Okay. The customer Aadhaar is, every time I just need to write self dot Aadhaar. Okay, for that particular object, I need to get that because we don't know how many customers are there. That's why. Then the customer, okay, the customer PAN is, here I need to write self dot PAN. Okay, and the last one will be print the customer, okay, customer balance is, here I need to write self dot balance. Okay. As of now, we are trying to create these traits, and here also we are trying to create functionality also. Then how to do that? Means whenever I want to access, then we have two options, guys, right? We can use our object reference as well as the class reference. So now we are trying to use both the things. Okay. Whenever we are trying to access the object method by the help of our object reference, then first you need to provide your object name. Then you need to provide your method name, then the argument. What is the argument, guys? Means you need to provide if the specific. Okay, we are trying to see now. Okay, now I need to provide the argument as by the help of our object reference. I need to get that particular thing. So how to do that? We are trying to see now. So first we need to create object because still we are not creating object. So first we are trying to create object. So here I'm writing user one. So how to create object? First you need to provide object name, then you need to provide your class name, and for this class name, whatever the uncommon property you are trying to initialize, now we are trying to provide all the value. So here I am passing Sujit. Then here I need to provide the phone number. Okay. Then you need to provide your Aadhaar. Then here you need to provide your PAN card. Okay. And the last one, you need to provide your balance. So here I'm passing 20,000. Okay, now I need to create another customer called our customer 2. So here I need to change some detail. Okay, so here I'm passing Piran. So here I need to change the phone number. Okay, the Aadhaar number also. Now the PAN number also. Okay, so here I need to change something and the amount also. Okay, as of now, I'm just trying to take two user for one band. Okay, now I need to access some details. So first we are trying to use our object reference. Okay, so my requirement will be first we are trying to use our object reference. So here I need to access user one dot details. I want all the details of user one. Now if I try to run this one, what is it going to happen? First, whenever I'm trying to run in the memory, first all the detail will going to store, and after going to store, all the detail will be stored in the form of our constructor, because whenever I am try to create a object at that time, the constructor will be getting executed. So guys, after getting store all the things, so after all the things means up to 80 line, all the things will be printing, all the things will be need to save in our memory. Then here I am using to access something means user one dot details. So here all the things that's available for our user one, all the things will be going to out available. Can I just see the name of customer is Sujit, the customer phone number is that, for the customer Aadhaar number, the customer PAN, for the customer balance also. Okay, now if I try to use for the customer 2 also it gives, because here we are trying to use this self concept, because for that particular customer name, or we can say that username, it needs to give the detail from this. Whenever we try to define a object, it will be getting all the detail from that. Okay, now guys, if I try to modify something by the help of our object variable, or we can say that object reference. So here I need to modify username dot balance. So here I need to update to 25,000. Okay, before and after I need to print. So here I need to print object. Okay, so user here passing user one dot balance. After and before I need to print. So here I need to print after that. So guys, just see before. Okay, here I need to print user. Okay, so here I need to write for user 2, because we are trying to updating for our user 2. So I need to kill the terminal again. I just want to run this one. So guys, just see before my user 2 balance will be 40,000, but after my user 2 balance will be 25,000. Okay, means we can change the details by help of our object reference. We know that whenever we are trying to change the detail of this uncommon property, we cannot use our class reference because it only available for this one. Then guys, just see what is the use of this object method. Means whenever we are trying to modify also the given details also. So as of now, we are just trying to create one function. Means in the upcoming session, we are trying to create more function to understand things. Okay, so this is all about our object methods. Means the details now will be treated like a object method. Now if I try to use the class reference to access this one. Okay, so to how to do that, we are trying to see now. So here I'm just trying to comment this one. Okay, so because we know that we cannot modify, okay, but as we are trying to create the functionality, so in that case we are trying to use by the help of our class reference is possible or not. So to use our class reference to give our functional, or we can say that functionality, so how to do that? First you need to provide your class name, then you need to provide your method name. So my method name will be detail. After you provide, if I try to run this one, it will be not executing. Okay. So now here you need to provide your argument. Means here you need to provide your detail for which customer. Means if I now try to run this one, guys just see here it will be give me the error. Why guys just see? Type error, back detail missing one argument, that is called our self, because this function will be taking one argument for to storing the current object address. That's why here you need to provide your object name. So here I am provide my object name called user2. So now if I try to run this one, it will be helpful to by the help of our class reference. Okay, here we are using class reference. Now you need to provide your method name, then here you need to provide your argument, that is called our username. So guys just see, or the name of customer is Kiran, the customer phone number is that, the customer Aadhaar, the customer PAN, the customer balance also. So this is all about our object method that's available in Python. So now we are trying to write the all the theoretical points that's available. Okay guys, so come to my what. So what is object method? So these are the, okay, so these are used for accessing, okay, used for accessing, then defining or modify, okay, define or modify the specific. Okay, why I'm trying to every time tell the specific property? Because every time whenever you are trying to create object method, it's only for our uncommon property. That's why here I'm providing the specific properties. Okay, specific properties of an object. Okay, now the next point will be, okay, so file defining, file while defining methods, we have to provide a mandatory argument. Okay, a mandatory argument is self to store the current object address. Okay, then we can access object method. So next point, we can access object method by using object reference, as well as so we are having some object reference as well as the class reference also. Okay, class reference. Okay, object method is used to modify the object variable only. Okay, in the short term, or we can say that note you can write. So object method, okay, object method is used to modify the object variable only. Okay, object variable only. So these are the different theoretical points that's available in case of our object method. So in the upcoming session, we are trying to discuss more about, and we are trying to create more functionality for this one. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thanks for watching. Triaright.